Yes, I know it was Mamutele, but there's also Julia that I spoke to in the middle, and then there's also Constance. But the deal was done by three people, by two people. Why am I lending at three people? So, um,
Just
in
one thing
short,
from my side.
yes.
Francois won't be joining us tonight. He's a bit tired. So
Oh,
Francois
okay.
won't be joining us.
All right. Okay.
He
All right.
asks if you can just get the recording. Another thing for Thursday.
I saw field work was loaded. Desktop is also loaded. Are you guys able to see it?
I haven't looked.
Yes, I saw them.
Oh, you saw them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's another thing that I'll follow up on Thursday. Sis Portia and Abut Grant, you guys are not late. You're not late. You are here on time. So
Okay.
before we move any further, hi sis, are you good?
You good and you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Can't
So
put the video on because the network is very bad.
oh, okay, yeah. Load shedding has been messing us up, eh? It has really been messing us up. So, guys, before we can go anywhere, I know, um, especially the three, I know you're in Pretoria. Please, at the maybe at the end of our session today, give me any date after the 23rd for doing field work. I'm available. I will avail myself to do that meeting with you guys. Any date
Sorry,
after the
Mamello, is it
23rd.
gonna be during? I'm sorry, Mamello. During the week or weekend, Saturday.
Give me any day. Either be it during the
Oh,
week
okay, cool.
or the weekend. Give me any day that will suit you guys.
Okay.
After the 23rd.
So how you guys feeling? Week or weekend? Saturday or week?
Maybe we should check how many are we in Pretoria. Who? It's myself,
Okay.
you, and who? Mapenene, are you in Pretoria and Posh? I'm not Dion in Joburg.
I'm in
Posh is in
Pretoria.
Pretoria, but I'm in Ikuruleni.
Okay.
So do you prefer during the week or weekend?
For me, Saturday, please.
Okay. Any weekend will work for me. Let me check what's the next weekend. The 20, I think it's the 27th.
So prefer Saturday.
I was supposed to have something on that weekend, but it's what was moved to Tuesday. Saturday the 27th will work for you guys.
Not for me. It's my anniversary, my birthday, my husband's birthday.
Who's
everything.
that? Who's that?
Constance. but if majority is available on the 27th, they can go ahead.
Oh man, we would love for you to join.
Let's check if it will be feasible for them to change. No, but okay.
So
Let's
it's
hear
your
what they say.
anniversary, it's
On
your
the
birthday,
27th.
and your husband's
28th is
birthday.
27th is our anniversary. 28th is my birthday. 30th is his birthday.
Oh my word. Okay. All right. Okay.
So
Okay.
that weekend is out for me.
So have an early happy birthday.
You can sing for me. I'd love that. No, but let's check the schedule of other people. But if it's the only available weekend is that one, it's fine. I think you can go ahead.
So that we also don't push it too far, I think let's look. We can either look at both weekends, the 27th and the 3rd. Let's take it. Oh, the 3rd. Ooh, okay, okay. It's good. It's Good Friday. I forgot. All right. People might be traveling that
10th.
weekend, and I might not be able to get access to some of the
The
properties.
10th.
The 10th. The
Of April.
10th. Who? Who?
Oh.
I never thought we will take it that far. I think I've got an engagement for that weekend, but let me first verify.
Okay.
I think Mamello and Julian, I think it's fine. You can go ahead on the
You know what,
27th.
guys? Let's break it down like this. Who's available on the 27th? I know Constance is in
also-
Pretoria. You know, Constance is in Pretoria. Constance, you can shout to me anytime and check my availability, and we can pop in and look around if that works for you. So, if the 27th works for the majority, let's run with the 27th. And then, Sis
Yes.
Constance, Mina, I will avail myself. Whenever you are ready, you can shout which day suits you, and then we go with the 27th with a date that will be suitable to you.
Yes, that should be fine.
I'm also not available, Mamello. I'm going to Begersford.
Oh, that is Aus Mapenen.
Mamute, Julian.
Why am I
Julian.
not seeing when people are talking though? What's happening today? Okay.
Okay, let me show myself. Maybe it will be better. Didn't want, but yeah.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. So, meaning on Saturday, we've got only Sis Portia, Abut Granti, and is Mapenen available?
What time on the 27th, Mamello?
10:11. How does 10:11 work for you?
I've got an appointment already. I'm free only after 12 on Saturday the 27th.
Only after 12. I can move it to one.
Then I'll join you, most definitely.
Okay. So it will be Aus Portia, Abut Grant, and Mapene. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mamello,
Yes.
I think it's getting a little bit tight here because we were hoping that this was going to be in the morning. So we were going to drop whatever is it that we were going to be engaged with for 27th in the morning. Unless if you are available on Sunday the 28th, if that is possible.
Mm,
Sorry about that.
no, it's fine. I'll be spending a lot of time in Pretoria West. No? How about we work it this way? I can do 28 with you,
Okay.
Aus Portia. I can do here. Okay.
No, for me, the 28th, I'm free. Anytime
You are
I can
free.
join in. Yes.
Okay, let's stick to the 28. 28, what time?
Anytime in the morning, afternoon, we are available.
Okay, let's make it, let's allow for church in the morning, and then let's say at 12, 11:30.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's do 11:30.
12. Let's
Perfect.
stick to 12. Yeah.
Okay, we have a date for the 28th. And then, do you guys have my numbers?
Did
Where
give it
I
to us.
I did give it to you guys, ne? Where I can share
We do.
okay, so that I can share location for you guys, our meeting place on the day. Okay, okay, out of field work, and then aus Juliane, Constancy. Then I will hear from you guys when you are back again in Pretoria and when you are available. I'll hear from you. Okay, today, I've heard your cry, ladies and gentlemen. I will raise some of the issues that you have raised with me. I'll be going to the office on Thursday, and some of the things I will try and see if I cannot get feedback for you guys. Today, we are supposed to be doing buying before auctions. Buying before auctions. We have looked at various strategies in the past. This weekend, I will not be working from slides. I would like for us to have a conversation. I would like for us to have an open conversation as to how we can approach the buying before auction strategy. So You can buy before auction for whatever strategy that you might want to go into. It can either be a capital strategy, it can either be a cash flow strategy in the form of a multi-let or a rental development, or you can go for capital purposes in the form of a flip or sourcing or a back-to-back deal. Just to refresh, do you guys still remember what a back-to-back deal is? Back-to-back?
When you buy and sell immediately.
Okay. And do you still remember how that process goes?
Yeah.
You still do. Basically, it will be I'm buying from you, I sign an offer with you, and I also get into an offer to purchase with another person. Basically, that's what it will entail. So, just for interest sake, I just want to find out from you guys, in terms of buying before auctions, how do you think you'll be able to get information to buy before auctions? What platforms can one look into?
The sheriff pages.
Sheriff pages, your local sheriff. How many of you are subscribed into Sheriff HQ? Do we have any subscriptions into Sheriff HQ?
Not yet.
We have.
You have. Have you looked at any properties that will be going on auction? Maybe ran the numbers, attempted to get in contact with the people whose property is about to go on auction? Have you maybe done that exercise?
I haven't done the exercise, but whenever I get the list, like this week I got a list from Binoni. I just
Mm-hmm.
go through the houses, do the numbers just to check if I do understand the whole thing that we've been taught.
Okay. Have you managed to get access into those houses?
No, I haven't requested yet.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. The thank you for that clarity. So, for you to be able to get properties within your reach that are about to go into auction, it is through Sheriff HQ, it is through your local sheriff. So, it is also important as a property investor to know who your local sheriffs are, the officers for your local sheriff, so that you form your relationships there. In maybe most of them, they actually don't even charge to give you the information. Find out who your local sheriff is, subscribe, or maybe sign up onto their page, so that whatever properties that are going to be going into auction under their offices, you'll be able to have access into that information. um Oh, apologies for that. There's actually something that I have. Apologies for that, guys. All right. There's actually one of the mentees from another group. We actually had an interesting conversation this afternoon. They're already done with their mentorship, and he has managed to find a property. This property is in Mafikeng. His target place is Mafikeng. That's his place of interest. Now, this property is about to go on auction, and he approached the owner of the property. The owner of the property is actually was willing to hear him out, and they looked at how much this gentleman is owing. This gentleman is owing 70,000 rands. He's owing 70,000 rand, and the value of that property currently is sitting at 650,000. So this guy, the property is supposed to be going on auction on Friday. So the conversation that we were having is that make an offer immediately to him, because this gentleman is saying all he wants is at least 150,000 to settle the bank and take the 80,000 to go start afresh elsewhere to avoid being blacklisted. And obviously, this gentleman who was in one of the mentorship groups is going to put it back on the market. The house doesn't need any renovation, the house doesn't need any work. The one last bit that I asked him to do was to go into just to find out if there are any outstandings in the form of from the municipality, in the form of rates and taxes, water or electricity or anything of that sort. So such opportunities are actually there, guys. If if we search, they actually are there. And a lot of people are also aware that the pandemic is not going to last forever. People are aware that the pandemic is not going to last forever. Constance, I see you. The pandemic is not going to last forever. Therefore, rather than they find themselves being blacklisted, they'd rather go the route of, I'm willing to let go of this property, buy it, I will start afresh elsewhere. And that's where you as property investors come in. That's why it's important for you to be subscribed to your local sheriffs. That's why it's important to be subscribed to Sheriff HQs. Because if you go onto if you only rely on Property 24 and your private property and other platforms, including your My Roof, you'd find that you will stumble upon deals, but deals that will not leave you with a profit in the longer run. Yes, Constance.
Hi. I wanted to ask. I'm not a fan of auctions. I've never tried it. I'm just scared of it. But now I wanted to find out, how can you get information on the properties that are about to go on auction, like that, like the guy that you're explaining, that he managed to speak to the owner before it goes on auction. Where do you get that information?
Okay. I was Constance, remember the subject for today. We are talking about buying before auction. The
Okay.
next meeting, we will be talking about buying at auctions. Today, we are
All right.
buying before
Okay.
the auction. So, we've spoken about Sheriff HQ. When you subscribe onto Sheriff HQ, there are different packages which you will subscribe. Maybe your target area is Soshanguve, it is Pretoria North, or whichever area. You will select the areas of interest, areas that you want to specialize in. And then whenever there are auctions that will be going out, you will always receive notification from Sheriff HQ. Sometimes it's aus Portia, it can be 2 to 3, sometimes a month in advance, right?
Yes, yes.
So
3
they
weeks.
give you the,
Months.
it's actually a lot of weeks. So you get sent this information of all those properties that will be going on auction in a couple of weeks. So depending on your subscription, you will be able to go into the report. Some properties you will get extensive reports in terms of what your reserve price is, who the owner is, and all that. Obviously, if you know the owner, you are able to also, if you know the property, you will have the property address, which you will then do your research on your Lightstone, look at what the activity is in the area in terms of the market. Is there an active market? What the value is? Then try and start making contact with the owner before the property actually gets on auction. So let me say you spot my property, they've listed that my property is about to go on auction. You see, okay, this property is at number 277 Gate Street in Pretoria Gardens. And then you will then start making your way to get to me. But obviously your approach is very important when you approach somebody whose property is about to go on auction. You can't just come to me and say, hi, I want to buy your property. You understand what I'm saying? You can just say, already I'm distressed. You don't know whether my plan is to sell the property. You don't know whether my plan is I'm still trying to save this property so that it doesn't get sold. You don't know where my standing is. So approach is very important in the sense that you can either come to me and say, you are a property, you are a property solutions person. You see that my property is going on auction. How can you assist me? Tell me that I want to help you. How do I help you? From there, you'll be able to hear from me that, yeah, I owe the bank. Hey, I need to pay. I'm thinking of getting rid of this property. And, that's where the conversation will start coming. And that's where you will bring the awareness in terms of Pella, when this property goes on auction, it means you will have a judgment against your name. Are you aware of this? How do we, based on why I'm in that situation, how do you save me in a way that even when I come out of whatever challenges I'm faced with, I'll still be able to go to the banks and be able to apply, and I will not be having challenges or difficulty because now I'll be sitting with a judgment against my name. I'm not sure if I make sense to you, Ose Constance. Sometimes you know that you are the ultimate person who wants to buy this property, but you come in as a property solutions person. You don't come to me as I want to buy your property.
It makes
I don't
sense.
know.
Thanks.
Yes, you don't come with I want to buy your properties. That I see that you're about to go on, you are faced with this. I want to help you. How do we work with the situation so that at the end of the day it's favorable for everyone? Yes, Dion.
I'm just clapping hands.
Oh.
It's a good explanation.
So that's how you go about getting properties that are about to go on auction. Um your approach is very important, because another thing, Constance, I'm one person who doesn't like auctions personally. I've attended quite a number of auctions, and I don't know whether it's a personality or a character thing, but when the whole bidding things goes, I go into a panic, you know. I'd rather go with somebody whom I know that this one is level-headed, and his heart doesn't skip as quick as mine and doesn't get anxious in such environments.
Yeah.
So I'm also that person. But at the same time, I would like to also say to you, do not limit, because you find people who would say, for instance, other people, I had gone into the mentorship with them quite a while ago, and they would say, I don't even have a single deal to today. Why don't you have a single deal to today? Because my focus is a capital flip. So what if a capital flip doesn't come your way? We need to be versatile in the sense that what might come your way will be a sourcing opportunity. What might come your way is a multi-let. What might come your way is a bargain deal that you will get through the auctions or through you buying before an auction. You know, so when you go out there, you need to have an open mind, as much as you know that ideally I want something that will cash flow for me. Let me say you want a multi-let. Ideally, you want a multi-let, you want some form of cash flow. But if that strategy is not yet presenting itself, don't shy away from any opportunity that will give you money. You get in, you get in and you get out. It's better than you sitting for a year or months and months. Eventually it becomes a year, eventually it becomes years. You've never done even a single deal. You've never profited on anything, you know. So let's try and be versatile in that sense. I know I easily get anxious in in certain environments, and it can be also very difficult for me to follow, because the times I've been at an auction, I will be going eyeing a specific property, and as they run through stuff, sometimes I tend to get lost in it. But what I would also recommend is, with time, I see that I do not panic as I went the first time. You know, with time, I see that I'm not as anxious as I used to go. So even if you know that you are not going to buy at an auction, familiarize yourself with the auction and how they work. Familiarize yourself with just attending an auction, observing, getting that brochure, going through the deal, the properties that will be on auction. Even if you're sitting with a brochure, just jotting down what the price that went under the hammer was. Maybe you might see it, okay, possibly this is where I can get a bargain, or possibly the sheriff is more fair or lenient, and maybe you might want to attend his auctions more. Possibly you might get a bargain at such a place. So yes, but only next week we will be covering more on the different types of auctions. We will be looking at buying at the actual auction, what you should be looking at. Our focus for now is buying at an auction, buying before the auction. And in a case where you feel, for instance, you've seen um, a lot of back-to-back deals come from properties that were about to go on auction, guys. Apologies. A lot of back-to-back deals come from properties that are about to go on auction, because sometimes a person might say, um, I do not, I don't think I'll qualify because my credit standing right now is not a great one, or for whatever reason. Maybe I've got a judgment. It can be for various reasons that you are able to make the purchase yourself. But it is at that process, at that point, where you can say, okay, Mamello, your property is going on auction. Um, Obviously, you've had conversations with me and you've sussed how much I might want out of this auction, and we might have discussed prices for this auction. And that's where you will get into a sales agreement in the form of an offer to purchase with me, where we sign an offer. But because the person who's approached me is not in a position to get financing themselves, will then go out there and find another person who will buy, maybe at a much more market related price. And that way, you saving me, you make yourself a profit, and you walk away. And you walk away. And remember, when we started, we also spoke about creating your relationships with agents in the areas that you are eyeing. For back-to-back deals, that might really work out for you, in the sense that you can make an offer to purchase to me. Let me say I'm owing the bank about 300,000, you valued at about 800,000, and you say to me, you say, okay, give me 400 or 450,000. As long as I can get out of this, it doesn't dent my name, and I can start all over again. And what you do with the property, it's up to you. And in that process, when we have signed the offer to purchase, you go to your agents. Remember, those whom you had to create those relationships with. You go to your agents and you tell them you are looking for somebody who's already pre-qualified, because you don't want to waste time. Somebody who's already pre-qualified, um, by the bank, who they know will be able to qualify. If the value, let's say it's 850,000, who'll be able to qualify for 800,000. The agent will bring you that person, and it's automatically a back-to-back deal. You've bought before auction, you've made a profit for yourself, you even got into a back-to-back deal on that property. You've made a profit, because us being in the property space, it's about making money at the end of the day. It's not about holding on to property. It's about properties making money for us. Are we good? Do we have any questions? Any
Nothing, thanks.
questions?
I don't have a
Australia?
question, but I don't have a question, but I
Okay,
got
Aus
the number of an
Constance?
agent today. I got the number of an agent
Good
today.
question,
Oh, you got a
Mamello.
number of
Thanks.
an A.
Calling. Hmm.
Dion?
I'm sorted, thanks.
Yes,
Is
I'm
that his
listening.
Constance?
No, Julian.
I'm struggling to see you guys today. I don't know why I'm not seeing you. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing you.
Maybe it's your
So
settings.
basically, this is what we are covering today. It's the, pardon?
It could be your settings that are wrong.
Okay, let me change my view.
Check your view on the side, then it says speaker view.
Uh, yeah, I see that. I see that. Oh, we even have Peter. Hi, Peter. How are you?
Hi,
Okay.
Mamello. I'm
I was
fine, and you? And hi,
I'm
everyone.
good. We keep on missing each other. Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, no, I do
I'm
understand.
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. Yes, I'm good. So, basically, when it comes to buying before an auction, what is important is that you form your relationships on the ground with agents for the areas that you're targeting. You get yourself into a Sheriff HQ website, subscribe, sign up, find out who's the sheriff for the area that you want to look at properties that are about to go on auction. Create those relationship with the agents. And it's also good that you be upfront with the agent what you're planning to do. You want to go on to back deals, ask them if they are familiar with how they work, school them if needs be, school the agents if they don't understand how the strategy works, school them and say this is how it works. If you are not familiar, that is not for you to stress. The conveyancer would know. Speak to attorneys before you even get to into deals, guys, that you're a property investor. Possibly some of you've worked with attorneys before on your own properties. You are looking at getting into back-to-back deals and all that, um, if they do not know, school them. There's nothing wrong with schooling them. um, and yes, I've mentioned Sheriff HQ. There's also the Gazette, but the Gazette, it's dependent on whether you like reading. Maybe if you like reading, because when they who's subscribed to the Green Gazette? Is anyone subscribed to the Green Gazette? Green Gazette? Are you guys still there? I see Dion and Portia's photos, but they're not
Yes, we
moving.
are
I'm
here.
worried if you guys can hear me or not.
We can hear you, Mamello. I didn't subscribe.
Okay, Australia, you can hear me. Is anyone subscribed to the Green Gazette?
Not me.
We're not subscribed.
Okay, that is another area, that's another place that you can subscribe into. But if you're going to subscribe to the Green Gazette, when they gazette properties that are about to go on auction, they it's actually important because you get all the information that you might need. It's just that when they put properties that are about to go on auction, it's a long story, a long background that they give you, just like when the government is going to gazette anything. Even properties that are going on auction, they gazette them in the same fashion. I was subscribed to the Green Gazette, but until around September last year, because sometimes I would get lost in reading all of that. But you can filter it as well as to which areas you are looking at. If you need more resources in terms of finding properties that are going on auction, and approaching the distress seller, because people whose properties are about to go on auction, they also form part of our distress sellers, and one thing that I should also say to you guys is that just because you've been rejected once, twice, or three times by a seller whose property is about to go on auction, do not be do not grow weary and feel like you don't want to. I know rejection is painful. I know it's painful. I'm one person, I also don't take rejection very well. But at the end of the day, I think we need to also focus on what the goal is. Focus on the goal in terms of where you want to go. If it's rejection in the name of you chasing money, a person might reject you today and you might possibly never see them again. Or chances is when you see them, they would see you and having regrets that, hey, Osposia once approached me and wanted to save me with my property, and I was too prideful with that and what I did. I ended up having a judgment against my name. You've got nothing to lose, actually. So, one thing I can assure you of, there will be a lot of rejection when it comes to approaching distressed sellers whose properties are about to go, um, on auction. Because think about it, your property will never go on auction after you have defaulted 3 payments or 6 payments. It needs to be an entire, the banks followed up and called their debt collectors and handed out to their attorneys and all that. It is normally a very long process before the property can go into can go for an auction, basically. So it just gives you an idea that the person that you are going to approach and and offer your services to them as a property solutions person at a time. You're a property investor, you're going to wear different hats. I see you, Julia. You are going to wear a different hat. You must know that the person that you will be approaching, if the property is saying it's going on auction, there has been back and forth. For instance, close to um close to one of the properties, I'll actually show you guys when you come on site. There's this property that has been going on and off the sheriff HQ, the local sheriff's office. This property was supposed to have gone on auction, I don't know, already before lockdown last year. Before lockdown last year. And then when lockdown came to an end, it was also on the list when it was supposed to go on auction. It was around July, August. It never went on auction. Like it has been saved so many times. Not saved necessarily. A lot of people have made offers to buy, but I'm not sure what happened there, because I know, for instance, there are neighbors who actually approached the owner of the property, who's a lady. And one of the things that I know she was very stubborn on was her price. So eventually it has now been bought by one guy who's owning quite a number of communes within our area. And I don't know what price they've actually agreed on. It has not been registered as yet. I can't wait to check on Lightstone for how much that property was sold for, because a lot of offers were made to the owner of that property. But there's a way of buying time for those properties not to go on auction. And that's where you come in as a property solutions person. You are an investor today, you are a solutions person tomorrow, you are a sourcing agent another day. So you are going to be wearing quite a number of hats in your property journey. Guys, our time is moving very fast. Um, our time is we are actually okay. Australia. Sorry, I had said I see you and I never came back to you.
It's okay, Mamello. I just want to ask, can they also put your property on auction for owning municipality?
Yes, the municipality can take your property on auction.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. Just like body corporate can also take your property on auction for levies.
Okay.
So it's
Thanks.
it's very important that you know what the affairs of your house look like. I know there are properties that have been, this trend, especially in the locations, Uti. No, we don't pay water, we don't pay rates and taxes, and nothing has happened to anyone. And by surprise, you'll never know whom they will pick on. I know somebody whose property was auctioned. The property was paid off, but it was auctioned because they owed water.
Sure.
They owed the water. And this was a professional, someone who was about to go into retirement, had paid off the property. Now in her retirement age, she's losing her property. So it's important that you know the affairs of your property. And you will see also when we talk about buying at auctions next week, we will be looking at the different auctions, the private auctions, the bank auctions, and the sheriff auctions. In whatever, apologies, in whoever you owe, it's important that you keep in contact and liaise with them. Get into an arrangement, even if it's a matter of you are owing, for instance, let me say you are owing 400,000. Go to the municipality and say, I'll pay you 1,000 rand. Go to the bank and say, I'll pay you 1,000 rand, so that you don't find yourself in a position where now your property you need to forfeit a property you've worked so hard for, you know? Yeah, just honor your debt, small portions, small portions. If it comes to a point where I know also somebody who his property was supposed to have gone on auction already last year, January, and he got into the agreement to pay, to move from a 12,000 rand bond, and he's been paying the bank around 500 rands every month. And at least that gives the bank hope. Yes, they will keep on harassing you that no, but your debt is too much for what you are paying. But thing is, at least it's important to communicate with your creditors. It's important to speak to your creditors and communicate with them. In the form of rates, speak to your municipality. If it's the bond, speak to your bond, to your bank. For levies, I know a lot of body corporates, they're not cooperative. Speak to the body corporate. Communicate. That is what is important.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Guys, it looks like we're gonna end very early. I'm not sure whether you guys will be joining the Q&A session. I was not aware that there's a Q&A session today. But we will be looking at in the next week, because the auctions has been split into 3, which is buying before auctions, which is what we were covering today. The next meeting, we will be talking about buying at auctions and looking at different auctions. And then after that, we will be looking at bank repossessed properties. So today, this is all I could give you. I knew it was brief. There's no slides for today, but there are slides for next week and the week after. But before we can call it a night, I just wanted to find out, don't you guys have any questions, or maybe you are curious as to how you can go about something? You can even ask a question that is not even auction or buying before auctions related. Maybe share your journey so far, what your hurdles have been. Maybe I'm actually interested in that, because our time is about to run out, and I would like to know what your challenges have been in your property journey. Are we all good? There's somebody who's whispering. There's somebody who's whispering. Okay, Auspusha, you are good. All right, Australia. Australian.
I'm good, thanks, Mamello.
Okay, Aus Constance.
I'm good, thanks.
Um, about Peter.
Yes, ma'am.
We were talking about buying before auctions. Are you good?
Yes, no, I'm perfect. I just wanted to find out if you see a property or a couple of properties that you can see that they are distressed and it's not easy to access the owners. Is there a way of getting to know who the owners are so one can check if they are about to be auctioned?
Okay. The first point will be Lightstone. And then there's a fee of about, I think but it's under 10 rand to get a contact details for an owner. So Lightstone will be your best bet in terms of who the owners are. Another bet will be the municipality. Find out from the municipality in terms of who the owners are. But Lightstone is your best bet in terms of who the owners are.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And then Aus Mapenene?
I'm all good, thanks, Mamello.
Okay. All right. So basically on the 28th, I will be meeting with Aus Portia and Mapenene, right? For our field
Correct.
work. With Peter, I'm not sure if you had joined in, you had logged in as yet. We had spoken about field work, and it looks like we will have two groups because Aus Julian and Aus Constance, they are not available on the weekend of the 27th to 28th. Therefore, we will be doing field work with Aus Portia. Abut Grant will be joining us possibly, and Osma Penene. On the 28th, we are meeting in Pretoria West just to view a couple of properties in terms of how just and also drive around in terms of sporting properties that you can that you can invest in. Yes.
All
So I'm
right.
not sure if you will be available on that weekend. It's
Okay,
a Sunday.
I'll check my schedule and revert back to you. Can I then give you a call, say tomorrow?
Yes, you are welcome to give me a call directly. And I know me and you have been missing each other a lot. We were supposed to have met already, and yeah, there's been back and forth. Yes, you can give me a call tomorrow. The only time I will not be able to take a call tomorrow, it will be between 10 and 12, but any time before that or after that, I'll be able to take your call.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. Okay.
All right, thanks.
Okay. All right. Ladies, I've heard your we've spoken earlier. I was Portia before you joined, and Abu Peter before you joined. Dion is struggling with network. There were questions that were posed on the Telegram group, of which answers were not given for. I made direct contact with Aus Constance because just to give a feedback that I'm also making follow-ups and gave her the feedback I got. So I will be going to the office on Thursday because I don't think I've been at the office anytime this year. I'll be going to the office on Thursday for a meeting, and I will also try and address some of the things that were raised up and see if you will be able to receive feedback or not. If there isn't anything else, thank you for joining, and we will convene again in 2 weeks. And with Aus Portia and Osma Penina, I'll see you guys on the 28th. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you,
bye.
Mamello. Bye, everyone.